All right, good afternoon, my friends. I want to share with you one of my favorite stories today. And it's a great story to talk about with plot, since we've been talking about plot this week in our reading. Some of you may have heard this story before, some of you may have not, but it's absolutely one of my favorite stories to read. And we're going to do something to make us each like the main character at the end of our story. Okay, so my story is called Strega Nona. Favorite story. In a town in Calabria a long time ago, there lived an old lady everyone called Strega Nona, which meant Grandma Witch. Although all the people in town talked about her in whispers, they all went to see her if they had troubles. Even the priest and the sisters of the convent went, because Strega Nona did have a magic touch. And there's Strega Nona, and they're all coming to visit her. She could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin, that's like a barrette. She made special potions for the girls who wanted to fall in love, and she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Strega Nona was getting old, and she needed someone to help her keep her little house and garden. So she put a sign up in the town square. And Big Anthony, who didn't pay attention, went to see her. Anthony said, Strega Nona, you must sweep the house and wash the dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed the goat and milk her, and you must fetch the water. For this, I will give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and food to eat. Oh, grazie, said Big Anthony. The one thing you must never do, said Strega Nona, is touch the pasta pot. It is very valuable, and I don't let anyone touch it. Oh, see, yes, said Big Anthony. And there she is, she's telling him, you cannot touch my pasta pot. It's very valuable. And so the days went. Big Anthony did his work, and Strega Nona met with the people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. Big Anthony had a nice bed to sleep in next to the goat shed, and he had food to eat. One evening, when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Strega Nona singing. Peeking in the window, he saw Strega Nona standing over the pasta pot. Okay, so he hears Strega Nona singing inside. See her inside singing? She sang, bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up. And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. Then Strega Nona sang, enough, enough, pasta pot, I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. How wonderful, said Big Anthony. That's a magic pot for sure. So there's Big Anthony. He sees Strega Nona making her magic pasta in her pot. And Strega Nona called Big Anthony for supper. But too bad for Big Anthony, because he didn't see Strega Nona blow 3 kisses to the magic pasta pot. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he doesn't see that she blows 3 kisses to that magic pasta pot. It's going to be important. And this is what happened. The next day, when Big Anthony went to the town square to fetch the water, he told everyone about the pasta pot. And naturally, everyone laughed at him because it sounded so silly. A pot that cooked pasta all by itself? You better go and tell the priest, Big Anthony. That is a lie, they said. And Big Anthony was angry, and that wasn't a very good thing to be. I'll show them, he said to himself. Someday I will get the pasta pot and make it cook, and then they'll all be sorry. And there he is, and he's angry because they're all telling him, no pasta pot does that. That day came sooner than Big Anthony would have thought, because 2 days later, Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, "Anthony, I must go over to the mountain in the next town to see my friend Strega Amelia. Sweep the house and weed the garden. Feed the goat and milk her for your lunch. There is some bread and cheese in the cupboard, and remember, don't touch the pasta pot." "Oh yes, Strega Nona," said Big Anthony, but inside he was thinking, "My chance has come." There's Strega Nona giving him all of his directions. Okay. As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went inside, pulled the pasta pot off the shelf, and put it on the floor. "Now let's see if I can remember the words," said Big Anthony. And Big Anthony sang, "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up." And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill with pasta. So there he is. She leaves, and then he starts making the pasta, right? "Aha," said Big Anthony. And he ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain, and shouted, "Everyone get forks and plates and platters and bowls. Pasta for all at Strega Nona's house. Big Anthony has made the magic pasta pot work." Of course, everyone laughed, but ran home to get forks and plates and platters and bowls. And sure enough, when they got to Strega Nona's, the pasta pot was so full that it was beginning to overflow. So here they all are coming, and if you look in the window, look, there's the pasta pot. It's starting to overfill. Big Anthony was a hero. He scooped out pasta and filled the plates and platters and bowls. There was more than enough for all the townspeople, including the priest and the sisters from the convent. And some people came back for 2 and 3 helpings, but the pot was never empty. Pretty cool pasta pot. When all had their fill, Big Anthony sang, "Enough, enough of my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." But alas, remember what he didn't see Strega Nona do. He didn't see her throw the 3 kisses. So he did not blow the 3 kisses. So there he is with the pasta pot, and he's telling it to stop, but he doesn't blow the 3 kisses. He went outside, and to the applause of the crowd, Big Anthony took a bow. He was so busy listening to them clapping that he didn't notice the pasta pot was still bubbling and boiling until a sister from the convent said, "Oh, Big Anthony, look!" And the pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor of Strega Nona's house and coming out the door. Here's all the pasta coming. It's still cooking. Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the magic words again, but the pot kept bubbling. He took the pot off the floor, but the pasta kept pouring from it. Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the pot and sat on it. But the pasta pushed up the cover and Big Anthony as well and spilled on the floor of Strega Nona's house. Look at all that pasta. It's pushing him right up off of the top. "Stop!" yelled Big Anthony. But the pasta did not stop. And if someone hadn't grabbed poor Anthony, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the house. Out of the windows and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. Now he's got pasta coming out of the house. Look at the poor little bunny on the roof. The townspeople began to worry. "Do something, Big Anthony," they shouted. Big Anthony sang the song again without the 3 kisses. It didn't do any good. By this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and all the people were running to get away from it. So now the pasta's chasing all the people. We must protect our town from the pasta, shouted the mayor. Get mattresses, tables, doors, anything to block the pasta. But even that didn't work. The pot kept bubbling and the pasta kept coming. Look here, it's all coming down into the town. They don't know what to do. Look, they're trying to get stuff, but that pasta, it's coming. We are lost, said the people, and the priests and the sisters of the convent began to pray. The pasta will cover our town, they cried. And it certainly would have had Strega Nona not come down the road home from her visit. She didn't have to look twice to know what had happened. There's Strega Nona coming back, and she sees all this pasta. She knows what happened. She sang the magic song and blew the 3 kisses, and with a sputter, the pot stopped boiling, and the pasta came to a halt. Oh, grazie, thank you, Strega Nona, the people cried. But then they all looked at poor Anthony, and they all shouted at him. So here she is, she gets the pasta to stop, and then all of a sudden they realize, whose fault is it? Big Anthony's. Now wait, said Strega Nona. The punishment must fit the crime, meaning she's saying that what he did, what he has to do to make up for it, has to be equal. And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby and handed it to Big Anthony. Why do you think she's handing him a fork? What do you think she's going to make him do? Let's draw a conclusion here. What do you think? She's handing Big Anthony a fork, and the town is covered in pasta. What do you think she's going to make him do? All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot, Strega Nona said, and I want to sleep in my little bed tonight. So you need to start eating. Big Anthony has to eat all the pasta. And he did. Poor Big Anthony. Look at his big belly. He's got to eat all of that pasta. And is Strega Nona in her little bed? She is. So what did Big Anthony do? He ate all of the pasta. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's talk about the plot. What happened in the beginning, middle, and end of Strega Nona? All right, in the very beginning of Strega Nona, what does Big Anthony hear? Okay, I'm going to turn you right here. What does Big Anthony hear? And I'm going to turn you so you can see my pots here, my big pasta pots and my Strega Nona. Okay, can you see my Strega Nona? You really can't see my Strega Nona, so let me move her down a little bit. I'll move her off to the side here so you can see my Strega Nona, because I want you to see her. She's kind of cute. All right, what does Big Anthony hear at the beginning of the story? He hears the magic words, right? He hears Strega Nona singing. Okay. So in the beginning of the story, Big Anthony, he hears Strega Nona singing to her pasta pot, right? Okay. Then what does Strega Nona do? Right. She has to go visit her friend. Okay. So Big Anthony's thinking, ooh, I really like that pasta pot. I hope I get to use it. And then Strega Nona, she has to go visit her friend, right? So Strega Nona goes to see her friend. What happens after Strega Nona when she's going to see her friend? What does she tell Big Anthony that he has to do around the house? She tells him that he has to sweep the house, right? But she also tells him he must not do what? Touch the pasta pot, right? She says, you have to sweep the house. She gives him those jobs to do. You have to sweep the house, but don't touch the pasta pot. All right, so that's with her finger. She says, do not touch the pasta pot. Okay, what does Big Anthony do, though? What happens next? Very good. He sings to the pasta pot, right? He sings to the pasta pot. And what happens after that? He doesn't remember to do what? To blow the pot 3 kisses. So does the pasta pot stop? Nope. But who does come home to save the town from all the pasta? Strega Nona does, right? And what does she tell Big Anthony he has to do? He has to eat all of the pasta. All right, so when we talk about the plot of the story, we talk about what happens at the beginning of the story, where Big Anthony, he heard Strega Nona using those magic words for her pot. Then we talk about what happens next. Strega Nona has to go and help her friend, right? She has to go see her friend, Strega Amelia. But before she leaves, she tells Big Anthony, you have to sweep the house, feed the goats. But she tells him not to touch her pasta pot. Well, Big Anthony, he decides he's going to go ahead and sing to the pasta pot. And he doesn't know how to turn it off until Strega Nona comes back and saves the town. And then Big Anthony has to eat all of the pasta. All right, so when we talk about the plot of the story, we understand what happens in the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Do you think Big Anthony learned a lesson in this story? Do you think next time Strega Nona tells him not to touch her pasta pot, he might listen? I hope so, or unless he's going to be really hungry for pasta again. All right, what we are going to do is we're going to be like Strega Nona. We're going to find something in our house that's important to us, and we're going to give it magical powers. Pretend, but we're going to pretend, okay? All right, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to pick something that's important to you. It could be a baseball mitt. It could be a football. It could be a paintbrush. It could be a book. It could be a stuffed animal. It could be a pair of shoes. It could be a sparkly pair of shoes. It could be a sparkly dress. It could be a cool t-shirt. It could be a baseball hat. It can be something that is important to you. And what you're going to do is you're going to think about what magical power. So Strega Nona had a pot that could make pasta just by the way she sang to it, right? She said magic words and it made pasta. You are going to give your object magic powers. And what you're going to do is on Flipgrid, you're going to tell me what your object, what its magical powers are. But Strega Nona had a special song that she sang to make her magic pasta pot work. You have to come up with something as well. I'm going to give you an example. So, Patrick and Cormac got me, and I love purses, they got me a new purse for Mother's Day. I absolutely love my purse. It's perfect for the summer. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to use my new purse as my magic object. And my purse, if I'm holding it, and I say, Jaga, Vaga, Foga, Vu, take me to, I can tell my purse, my magical purse, to take me someplace fabulous. And that's what my magical object does. It takes me super cool places. So for example, I could say, Jaga, Vaga, Faga, Vu, take me to the Fiji Islands, a tropical, beautiful place. And my purse, if I'm holding it, and I say my magic phrase, Jaga, Vaga, Faga, Vu, take me to the Fiji Islands, poof, my magical purse will take me to that place. You could have a pair of sandals or a pair of sneakers, and your sneakers could make you the fastest football player ever, the fastest runner ever. You could have a stuffed animal that makes you super tall. You could have a paintbrush that makes you the greatest painter in the world. I want you to choose something that's important to you and give it magical powers. And on Flipgrid, you're going to show me you're going to share with all of us, because I can't wait. I think everybody's going to want to see the different objects. You're going to tell us what your magic object is. And then you're going to tell us the magic words that you have to say to make it work. So for example, you're going to see me say, Jaga, Vaga, Faga, 2. I did it wrong. You might have to write it down too. Jaga, Vaga, Faga, Vu, take me to, and like I said, the Fiji Islands. It'd be nice if it works. We'll see. I'll let you know. But, so that's what you're going to do. All right. So today, we're not going to write, because we already talked about the plot. What I want you to do is I want you to use your imagination today. And I want you to choose that object, give it magical powers, come up with a chant to make it work, and share it with us on Flipgrid what your magical object does, like Strega Nona's pasta pot. Okay? All right. I'm looking forward to seeing them tomorrow, my friends. Or not tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing them today, my friends. Woo-woo. All right. Bye, friends.